The modern era, characterized by rapid technological progress and constantly evolving innovations, has changed society's familiar way of life. However, along with tremendous power comes tremendous responsibility, and the saga of the Silk Road vividly illustrates this lesson. This online marketplace was both a beacon of untapped technological potential and a warning about misuse. Chapter 1. The Birth of Silk Road. Once, a student named Ross Ulbricht returned to his hometown of Austin, Texas, after completing his graduate studies. He wanted to become an entrepreneur and tried his hand in various industries until he ventured into online trading. Ulbricht launched a second-hand bookstore. The business thrived. By December 2010, Ulbricht had earned $10,000. The entrepreneur even hired 5 part-time employees. He could have continued to grow his business, but he was drawn to the dark side of the force. As a result of this attraction, Silk Road emerged in 2011. It quickly gained notoriety as a hub of illicit activity, with a particular emphasis on drug operations. Because Ulbricht considered himself a libertarian, meaning he opposed any government intervention, such as taxes, the platform became completely anonymous and confidential. It ingeniously combined user anonymization capabilities through the Tor network, which concealed IP addresses, and payment in Bitcoin. These mechanisms ensured that transactions would not be traced, which attracted users seeking clandestine deals. Chapter 2. Inner Workings of Silk Road, Trust in Anonymity. The secret sauce of Silk Road's success lay in the organic integration of user anonymity and the review-based trading system. Allowing buyers to rate sellers after making a purchase bolstered the reputation of genuine sellers while simultaneously weeding out scammers. This created an atmosphere where buyer trust was paramount, despite the illicit nature of transactions. All transactions on the platform were conducted using Bitcoin. However, aware of Bitcoin's blockchain transparency, users employed dark wallets to encrypt their transactions, providing an additional layer of confidentiality. The logistics of the Silk Road also deserve mention. The United States Postal Service was used for delivery, affording recipients plausible deniability. The implementation of reviews for products and sellers significantly boosted trust levels on Silk Road. MDMA, also known as ecstasy, enjoyed particular popularity. It's difficult to acquire in its pure form and adulterated as tablets. It can be deadly. Reliable MDMA suppliers received high ratings, increasing sales. Silk Road grew rapidly, adding complexities for Ulbricht. Proper platform operation required employees, but it was challenging to find workers for a site dealing in drugs and weapons. Eventually, he found a partner in Curtis Green, a 47-year-old Mormon with chronic pain and knowledge of opioids. He moderated the Silk Road Forum, where users shared opinions on medical substances. Ulbricht offered him the position of customer service manager. Ulbricht knew Green's real identity but kept it secret. They communicated only through the Tor chat function. Green would later play a crucial role in revealing Ulbricht's identity. Chapter 3. The Tale of the Empire's Fall. Despite its cryptographic sophistication, Silk Road's reign was short-lived. By 2013, a joint task force comprising FBI agents, the Drug Enforcement Administration, the Internal Revenue Service, and the Customs Service managed to unravel the mystery of this underground market. A significant breakthrough occurred thanks to a Reddit post that disclosed Silk Road's IP address. This eventually led to the capture of its mastermind, Ross Ulbricht, famously known as Dread Pirate Roberts. In 2015, Ulbricht was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, marking the end of the Silk Road era. Significant contributions to uncovering the Silk Road case were made by an IRS employee, Gary Alford. Alford, an investigator at the IRS, played a crucial role in exposing Ross Ulbricht as the mastermind behind Silk Road, the notorious black market on the internet. Initially, Alford was investigating a separate case involving unreported income from Bitcoin transactions, but his investigation led him to Silk Road. His breakthrough came when he established a connection between the pseudonym Dread Pirate Roberts, used by the Silk Road operator, and Ross Ulbricht. Alford employed a simple yet highly effective investigative strategy. He conducted Google searches for keywords closely associated with Silk Road and its activities. This search strategy paid off when Alford discovered an early mention of the Silk Road in a forum post. In this post, the user asked for advice on growing mushrooms, and importantly, it was signed with the username Altoid, which Ulbricht had used in other online contexts. Notably, Altoid was used by Ulbricht to generate interest in Silk Road on various forums, posing as just a curious user of the site. Likewise, he used it in an ad for programmers who were offered work on a Bitcoin business project. That ad used an email address with Ulbricht's name on it. Then, thanks to a package discovered by the Canadian government containing 9 forged documents sent to San Francisco that Ulbricht planned to use to rent servers for Silk Road, agents could establish his residence. This discovery was pivotal as it directly linked Ulbricht to the Silk Road, redirected the investigation toward him, and ultimately led to his arrest in October 2013. During the investigation into the Silk Road online black market, 2 corrupt law enforcement agents were uncovered. They were Carl Mark Force 4, a former DEA agent, and Sean Bridges, a retired Secret Service agent. Both played significant roles in the investigation, but it was later revealed that they were engaged in unlawful activities. Carl Mark Force IV was involved in the Silk Road case as an undercover agent, attempting to establish a connection with Ross Ulbricht, known as Dread Pirate Roberts, the creator of Silk Road. Force abused his position, extorting money from Ulbricht even when he was supposed to gather evidence against him. He created several fake online identities and illegally negotiated with Ulbricht, ultimately transferring bitcoins to his accounts. On the other hand, Sean Bridges was part of the Baltimore Silk Road Task Force. He used his access to Silk Road administrative accounts to siphon bitcoins from the site's users and transfer them to his accounts. Bridges utilized his knowledge and skills in digital forensics and cybersecurity to cover his tracks. Ultimately, both agents were caught, charged, and convicted for their actions, which included money laundering, communication fraud, and theft of government property. Their criminal activities undermined the integrity of the investigation and raised questions about the oversight of federal agents' activities in high-risk cyber operations. Despite pleading guilty and receiving prison sentences, the full extent of Force and Bridges' wrongdoing remains undisclosed, and significant evidence of government misconduct was uncovered post-trial. This misconduct casts doubt on the integrity of the evidence used to convict Ross Ulbricht, who continues to serve a double life sentence plus 40 years without the possibility of parole, while Force and Bridges have already been released from prison. This case leaves many unanswered questions about the depth of corruption and its impact on Ulbricht's investigation and conviction. After all this, one question remains: where did the billions of bitcoins disappear to? James Juin, exploiting a loophole in the Silk Road system, stole around 50,000 bitcoins. His activities remained unclear until Bitcoin underwent a coin split. Subsequent transactions left a digital trail, leading to his discovery. Surprisingly, Juin's statement about the theft of bitcoins led the IRS directly to him. A raid following this discovery uncovered bitcoins worth an astonishing $3.36 billion, marking one of the largest asset recovery cases of stolen assets. What was the rest of the funds? The FBI seized 144,000 bitcoins, most of which are still in the authorities' hands. That makes the FBI the second largest holder of bitcoins. Since Ulbricht's laptop ended up in the Bureau's hands, the Bureau has tracked hundreds of thousands of transactions involving 700,000 bitcoins. Thanks to this information, it's unknown how many online traders the FBI was able to arrest. Has Ross Ulbricht's life sentence scared away copycats? Despite Ulbricht's life sentence, his punishment has not been a significant deterrent to the emergence of other dark websites. Several other sites emerged after the Silk Road was shut down, including Alphabay, some even larger and more sophisticated than the Silk Road. In particular, Alphabay became infamous for its size and the range of illegal goods and services offered, surpassing Silk Road in scale and scope. It operated until July 2017, when it was dismantled by law enforcement as part of an international operation. This suggests that while Ulbricht's conviction may have been intended as a deterrent, the lure of profiting from illicit trade on the dark web continued to attract people willing to fill the void left by the Silk Road.